Alright, this is chapter 24, sound, rhyme, and rhythm, and what that does is it's more than words. You kind of read it and you try to catch on to the tone of what the poet was trying to write, or trying to understand what they were trying to push across to you. So the way you read it, you kind of have to catch on to what they're trying to feel, or like the sound, the rhyme, or rhythm, because there's always a tune to it, and that may have some rhyme to it, but it may be like a type of song that you're trying to read. So it says, the way the sounds of language work together, rhyme and rhythm, can drastically affect the way a poem is read. Although the language of poetry is somewhat different, remember what you already know. All speech is sound, so everything, all speeches, we're just talking about it, basically. And sound, there's a lot of different sounds that you can use in this section right here. There's different types. You got a monosyllable, you got a euphony, cacophony, alliteration, consonants, assonance, onomatopoeias, polysyllabic. So there's a lot of different sounds that you use, and they make up a lot of different ways of what you're trying to put into the words, and make sure the poet understands what you're trying to write. And in the sounds of a example of the sounds I came up with, it was an anonymous poet with the western wind. It says, western wind, with thou blow, that the smell rain down can rain. Christ and my love were in my arms, and I am in my bed again. So it has a lot of different. It has alliteration, it has consonants, it has assonance, it has monosyllables in it. It has a combination of it. So it's just a culmination of the part of this chapter called sound, which helps you get a better representation, or get to hear the difference, get to hear what the sound of what the poet was trying to put across. Alright, the next part is rhyme, and rhyme is basically, you can have a rhyme where it rhymes in the middle of the sentence. You can have it in rhyme where they, like separate lines, they rhyme together after each other, or they rhyme in separate parts. So you have real rhyme, end rhyme, there's a ballad, you got heroic couplets, which are two successive rhyming lines in iambic parameter, and slight rhyme, internal rhymes. There's a lot of variations to rhyming, so you try to input a lot of the different things to try to get across what the poet was trying to write, or it just makes it a little different sounding than the rest of the ones that you different poets to be writing, so you can understand them better, what they're trying to get their point across. And then my poet is the Alexander Pope. True ease in writing comes far, art thou not chance. And then at the end of each line it says, chance, dance, offense, sense, blows, flows, shores, shore, roar. So it's the end rhyme, so they basically are all rhyming at the end of it. It's just one type of rhyme. And then the last part of this is another section of this is rhythm. And rhythm is like when you're reading it, you kind of catch that tune in your head. It makes you want to catch some rhythm to it. Have kind of like a dancey kind of lyric kind of way of a poem. And my definition of that is, an example of that is a Gwendolyn Brooks song called Sadie and Maudie. It says, Maudie went to college, Sadie stayed at home, Sadie scraped life with a fine-tooth comb. See, in the way I read that, it's like a lyrics of a song, so you catch that kind of rhythm situation there, and you're reading it, and you kind of catch on to it, and while you're reading that. And stresses and pauses, you try to read the poet, what they're trying to put across, and you kind of put an emphasis on what they're reading. There's a lot of different things. You'd have to read a little deeper into it, though, but you try to read. It says we stress the first syllable when we say words, like different words, and then there's other second syllables that you try to stress. So like when you're naturally speaking, some words stress the first syllable, and other words stress the second syllable. And and then in that one I had, her comb found every strand, Sadie was all the living chits and all the land. So in the way you kind of read that, some words I stress the first syllable a lot more than I would on the second syllable. That's just the way we talk, and it's how it comes natural to us. And then the last part is meters. It usually refers to a sequence of unstressed that forms the essential regular pattern of lines of poetry. And a meter, it's just basically it's just a line of syllables that you can have. You have foots inside of your syllables, and they become meters, and then meters have feet in them, which are different types of them. And there's lots of that, but then in my example for that is the Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Trochee Trips from Long to Short. It says if Derwent been innocent, steady and wise, and it just has internal rhyme. It has a little different. Each has a little different aspects of each part of what you're reading. And that's chapter 24, sound rhyme.